Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jesse Daly here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. My friends, we are looking at the 11 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center regarding Hurricane Melissa. At this point, if you've been following this channel or many of the other news reports, it goes without saying that this is an extremely dangerous situation for Jamaica and portions of the Western Caribbean. Even us over here in the Virgin Islands, like my hair is wet right now because I was just outside and we're getting rain from way outer rain bands. I'll show you a video about that in a second. But I want to show you what's happening right now. Category 4 hurricane as of 11 a.m., crawling to the west at 3 miles per hour. And it is expected to make a turn to the northeast soon, and that will take the system essentially directly over the island of Jamaica. That is the general idea from the National Hurricane Center at this point. If this does indeed make landfall as a Category 4 or higher, it will likely be the strongest direct hit on Jamaica since records have been kept. So I want to, as I've done in my other videos, I want to show you what's happening and also to help you stay prepared and also not to panic. Okay, I understand this is scary. I live on an island myself. Not a lot of places you can go when you're on an island, but stick together with your friends, family, neighbors, and stay prepared. You will get through this. Let's look at infrared satellite imagery courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com. This is looking at the temperature of the cloud tops, and we can see these pink colors, white colors, these dark colors, indicative of very cold cloud tops that have built super high up into the atmosphere, indicative of strong convection, holding a lot of moisture. Look at the eye of this storm. It has rapidly intensified from from a tropical storm recently into a Category 4 hurricane, and further strengthening is expected. That being said, notably in the latest update from the 11 a.m. Update from the National Hurricane Center, there is some wind shear that the system is dealing with. Let me jump you over to the key messages from Hurricane Melissa. It is dealing with some wind shear. It's not going to affect probably much of anything at this point, but it's some bit of good news that it appears as of right now that the intensification may have leveled off at this moment. It's very possible that it will continue to intensify again, but there is some bit of good news. There is some wind shear it is battling. Jamaica, seek shelter now. Damaging winds and heavy rainfall will begin, today and Monday, and will cause catastrophic and life-threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides. And then the winds arrive Monday night and Tuesday morning. So we're talking about a long-duration event, extensive infrastructural damage, long-term power and communications outages, and isolation of communities are expected. This is serious. Haiti, catastrophic flooding. Again, also we may see some winds across Haiti, Dominican Republic, landslides, flooding, eastern Cuba, southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. Got to watch this. This system will likely move across Cuba after Jamaica and then head in the direction of the far southeastern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and then even Bermuda. You all may be affected down the line. Let's actually take a look at the Google DeepMind AI, and I'll show you what we're looking at here. This is the 06 UTC run. We can see that's 2 a.m. East Coast time, by the way. We can see this system is intensifying into at least a Category 4 and then moving up over Jamaica. The track is fluctuating a little bit over maybe the eastern side, closer to eastern side of Jamaica, and then up over Cuba, and then over the Bahamas area, and then toward Bermuda. My friends, again, I cannot stress how significant and life-threatening this situation is. Now, I mentioned we don't want to panic. We want to be prepared. So let's take a look at what we can do during storms. Stay in your safe place from water and wind. Concrete structures are very good. Obviously, there are also shelters that I've read that have been set up in Jamaica. I believe the convention center in Montego Bay may be one of those areas. Check this out for if you're in Jamaica, of course, for the official information. Have a way to get weather alerts. NOAA radio, weather radio. Listen to local officials and do not, do not leave until it is safe to do so. Even when it is safe to do so, or it appears to be anyway, you have to be careful because once the winds and rain have stopped, there's still potential for down power lines, flood waters. You have to be really careful with not using generators inside. Communications may not be available for extended periods of time. This should also go without saying. If and when the storm moves over, let's look back at the infrared satellite imagery. If and when the storm moves over and the eye makes a direct hit over Jamaica, the winds are going to stop and the conditions will substantially improve very temporarily. Then the other side of the storm comes through. So you want to continue to seek shelter, stay in your safe place. Please make sure you look out for your elderly neighbors and those with limited mobility. Pets and animals, even the little stray animals I mentioned in my last video in the Virgin Islands, we have a lot of stray chickens and cats and dogs and horses, So I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's like in Jamaica, but if you see little animals that need help, just reminding you, they need help too, because it's just scary, So I say all this to remind you, you are going to get through this, and I am sending you all of my best. I do want to just quickly show you here the rainfall totals are going to be really bad. Obviously, we can see up to 40 inches. That's over 3 feet of rain. So you want to get away from the lower elevations if that's possible. Last thing I want to show you is look at the infrared satellite imagery back here of the bigger picture. Where I am at here in the Virgin Islands, we can see some very outer rain bands. And that's why I mentioned that my hair got all wet. I'm going to jump you outside and show you what happened for this little rainstorm. This is all associated with Melissa. Hey everybody, so as I mentioned, we are getting some rain, and this is associated with Hurricane Melissa. We're hundreds of miles away in the Virgin Islands, and this isn't even too bad. It's like a typical sort of rainstorm, but I'm showing you this because the storm is so big that even we, hundreds of miles away, are getting affected by very outer rain bands of this storm. It's going to continue to grow in size as it, intensifies. So please, again, wherever you are in the Western Caribbean especially, take this seriously and be really safe. I'm going to go back in and show you what's happening at the computer. Again, my friends, stay safe. Be prepared as prepared as you can be. Don't panic. Stick together. And I am sending you all of my love, and make sure that you are looking out for one another and follow the official updates. And if you wouldn't mind hitting subscribe on this video, it helps my channel to get the word out the best way that I can to help, even if it's in a small way, to let you know that I'm looking out for you. I understand what it's like to live on an island, and it's scary sometimes when you're facing a threat like this. So just 1 minute at a time, and I will keep an eye on the tropical skies come rain or shine. Thank you for watching.